Good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News Now, coming to you from our digital desk. We're going to be taking you down to Public Square here shortly, where the city and the county are about to announce the next transformation of Public Square. This is going to include the next phase of construction. Let's remember what's coming to Public Square. You have the brand new Sherwin-Williams headquarters is off of one corner of Public Square. You're going to have thousands and thousands of employees there once they move from their current headquarters to the new one. And so Mayor Justin Bibb, as well as the county executive Chris Ronayne, about to announce what's next. According to what we've been told already, once these transformations are complete, the renovations are complete, it will increase safety, enhanced mobility, improved aesthetics, and for pedestrians, cyclists, and transit, so that all residents and visitors can better access, utilize this key area of downtown. It has been really one of Mayor Bibb's goal number ones, or at least on his opening day sheet when he took office a couple of years ago. You'll remember there were the concrete barriers that were put in by the Frank Jackson administration. Mayor Bibb, within the first couple of weeks of taking office, had those completely removed, and he's wanted to make this next sort of venture since then, and it looks like we're getting close to the beginning here. Could have asked for a little bit better weather. Not too shabby, 55 degrees on its way to 60 ahead of this announcement outside. And again, it looks like we're about to be underway. So we're going to take you live to Public Square.
Now it's loud as shit.
Welcome to Public Square. I'm Sana Julian. I'm the CEO of Group Plan Commission, and we're the civic nonprofit organization that's proudly helped revitalize many of downtown's public spaces, and we've been the steward of Public Square here, as well as had some involvement in the mall.
It's bad on.
I'm also an executive advisor to Downtown Cleveland, and we're your community organization that's striving to evolve downtown into an 18-hour, 15-minute city. And we provide the Clean and Safe program that keeps all of downtown welcoming for both residents and visitors, as well as the workforce downtown. We work together every day to ensure Public Square remains the premier urban park in Cleveland. In a December 24th opinion piece in the Washington Post, the Post wrote, "Cleveland's Public Square is a beacon to other cities looking to transform." They highlighted everything from our vision to the physical renovation to the mixed-use development to everything within a condensed small space like we have in Public Square. I can personally testify that the 6.5 acres have indeed transformed the heart of the city that we serve, and as the Post stated, we are Cleveland's living room. We've seen the development expand and the financial growth in the heart of the city exceed billions of dollars. We're joined today by Mayor Justin Bibb, County Executive Chris Ronayne, Greater Cleveland RTA General Manager and CEO India Birdsong Terry, and Cleveland Public Library Executive Director and Group Plan Vice Chairman Felton Thomas. We're also pleased to welcome all of you, our partners. And without you, we would not be able to do the work that we do in Public Square. It's time to learn about all of the exciting advances we're going to be making in the next couple of months, and I do mean next couple of months, many of these advances being complete by the middle of the summer. So in order to learn about that, I'd like us to welcome our mayor, Mayor Justin Bibb. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's a chilly 60 degrees, huh? I'm glad I brought my coat. Well, the day is finally here, We are removing the Jersey barriers in Public Square. Now, this was a major campaign priority for mine when I ran for mayor in 2021, and I thought I could remove them on my first day in office. But we quickly realized that there were a lot of things we had to do to make sure we got this moment right. And sometimes you have to go slow in order to go fast and do things the right way. And there were so many amazing partners that made today possible. First, I want to thank the Group Plan Commission for their leadership in managing Public Square. Since 2016, the Group Plan has really made sure that this truly is the People's Park. I also want to thank Councilman McCormick for helping to jumpstart this investment. In my third month in office, Councilman McCormick helped sponsor legislation for a city contribution of $1.5 million to make today possible. I also want to thank my colleagues at the County Executive Ronayne, and India Birdsong as well too. Without these essential public sector partners, we would not be able to make sure we finally remove the Jersey barriers in Public Square. And I want to also tell you why this is an important priority for my administration. As it's been talked about, Public Square is the People's Park. And it's so important that we beautify this public space to make it more safe. We want to make it a world-class park for our residents and tourists. We also want to make sure we enhance mobility so it's walkable, bikeable, because that's what makes great public spaces in great world-class cities. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank all of our amazing private sector partners as well too. I know I had to carry around my hat, and you all truly stepped up. So I want to thank Key Bank, the Gun Foundation, Bedrock, Rocket Mortgage, the Cleveland Cavaliers, Jack Entertainment, Sherwin-Williams, and the K&D Group. Let's give them a hearty round of applause if we can. So we have a lot of great events coming up in Cleveland. We have Women's March Madness, the solar eclipse, a brand new world-class corporate headquarters is going to be opening up here soon, and we have an amazing world-class park to celebrate right in the heart of the great city of Cleveland, Ohio as well too. So again, congrats, and I'll pass the baton to my friend, our county executive, Chris Ronayne. Chris.
Thank you, Mayor. I really do mean it, Mayor. Thank you for seeing this one through. It's been 8 years since we opened this public square. About right, Nora? 8 years. And we needed to finish the job. And Mayor Bibb finishes the job today. So I thank you, Mayor. County did put support into this because we believe in this central space. It is Cleveland's Central Park. I'm sure for all of you, you have your own individual memories about this park. As my team over at the county knows, I could go on and on about mine. But I'm just going to name a few on this cold day. Deb, give me about an hour to do this. I arrived here with my family when I was 10, and it's one of the first places I remember being in. I sold ice cream here as a teenager, and it was a fabulous experience. I walked out of the doors of Old Stone Church. I walked in a single guy, and I walked out married with my wife on Public Square right out of that church. I remember seeing rockers. John Mellencamp was out here one day, and we watched him play. We've seen the Cleveland Orchestra out here many times. One of the most fundamental memories I have was during the 2016 convention, where there was a lot of tension on this square, just making sure security, we were going to get it right. And one of the best memories I have was seeing a ping pong match on Public Square on the south side of the street. And it was a protester and a sheriff's deputy playing ping pong together. That's how it should be. We come together on Public Square from all different walks of life. It is our community central space. So it's fitting that the mayor and his team are finishing the job. A lot of people have already been thanked. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the Group Plan Commission. Again, Sana Julian, thank you for your tireless work to get us here. Matt Carroll, who chaired these last number of years, thank you both for getting us here. Thank you. Obviously, our partners at DCA have been great advocates in all of this all along the way. The nonprofits that make the public-private nonprofit work matter, because the private sector investment matters. You look at every corner of the square, and we have investors. Look no further than Sherwin-Williams' new investment on Public Square. Look at Bedrock's perpetual investments on Public Square. Look at K&D, their continued investments on Public Square. Cleveland Cliffs and Huntington Bank and Key Bank on Public Square. This is also really the gateway to Cleveland. Yes, Felton Thomas, the Cleveland Public Library, our courthouses, county, federal, and state, all around Public Square. This is, when you look around, it is the place where this community intersects. So I'm proud as a county executive to be a part of this. I'm proud that we're going to take this to the next level today and open it up in a way that finishes the job. And it's right at the right time, as the mayor said. With the advent of the Women's Final Four, we welcome them coming to town next week. And of course, the solar eclipse, where we hope to see some 200,000 visitors right here in the central space of downtown. Mayor Bibb mentioned to me it's nice to be looked over by another mayor, Tom Johnson, right behind us. It's fitting that the great Mayor Tom Johnson looks over Public Square, but it's also fitting that the next speaker is going to talk a little bit about the confluence of public space and transit. Because at the end of the day, this has also got to be accessible, it's got to be pedestrian and transit friendly, it's got to be a place that welcomes. And no greater welcoming point is the RTA itself. The reason I bring up Tom Johnson, he always advocated for transit in this town, and successfully with the 3-cent fare. So this is also about equity, it's about humanity, it's about community, and it's ultimately about where this town gets together in the Central Park. We're proud of Cuyahoga County to be a part of the future of this great public square. Without further ado, let me bring up, I think, our next speaker, India Birdsong Terry, General Manager of the GCRTA. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for my colleague's introduction. It is a pleasure to be here today to represent public transportation in not only Public Square, but the city of Cleveland and the greater counties as well. I will say, and dare I say, that it's a little windy. I'm very comfortable. I'm from the Windy City. So to me, this is good luck, right? So we got a little bit of luck sprinkled on the square here. And being able to become a Clevelander means something special. Being able to become part of the fabric of the community means something essential to the root of working together. And that's what was mentioned by my counterparts through the executive and the mayor. RTA is excited to collaborate on this phase of Public Square project. This was one of the main issues that came up during the first 24 hours in me setting foot on Cleveland soil. It is amazing to be able to stand here today with you, with a little bit of luck sprinkled on the side, to be able to think about eradicating some of the mobility issues that we have in the city. Public Square is not only the front door for downtown Cleveland, but for RTA, it's our #1 transfer location for buses and trains. Approximately 5,000 people board buses every day in and around Public Square, most of them transferring from one bus to another or through the Rapid. The modifications to Superior Avenue of the square greatly enhances our operational efficiency in preparation for special events. What you see happening today and over the next few months will prepare us to be able to advance and fluctuate according to all of the revenue events that are coming into Cleveland, helping us fuel the economy. We will be able to work with the city and the county and all of the other special event vendors to transform the square in a matter of minutes versus days and sometimes weeks and months that we endure right now. So being able to think about the value of this investment is amazing, amazing to the future of this economy and to this city. Safety and improvement of operational safety for our customers and our workers at RTA is essential and will never, ever, ever fade. So we are happy to be here today. We appreciate you for working with us, for hearing us, continuing to hear us as we work to make sure that we are the people's mobility option. We are not only the people's park, but we are the people's champ for mobility, and we continue to work with you in order to make Cleveland better. Thank you.
quite like the People's Mobility option from the head of the People's University here. So I'm Bill Thomas. I'm the director of the Cleveland Public Library, and I'm also the vice chair of the Group Plan Commission. And I just have a few acknowledgments. I want to first thank the board of the group plan led by Matt Carroll. There are a number of them here. Please raise your hand and give them a round of applause for all their work. I also want to acknowledge from 2015-2016 the work that was done on here by the architects James Corner Field Operations, by our construction company, Independence Construction, and by our engineers, Osborne Engineers. Please give them a round of applause for all the work that they did on this. And now it's time and a chance for us to acknowledge you. It's a Q&A time. If you have questions and answers for any of these folks, please give India the hardest questions that you think to ask. And Rick is going to run around with a mic, and he's going to give that, and I will take this mic and pass it to the group so they don't have to get up and walk around. Start with India.
I guess you felt.
Questions?
That was easy.
Thanks so much. Nick Costello with Signal Cleveland. I got a couple questions, but we'll start with the RTA first. When we are done with the construction that needs to happen here, what role do buses have on Public Square? Are they still going to be going down Superior?
So what the plan was, I'm not sure if everybody heard the question, but what's next for RTA essentially after the construction, and how will Superior be affected?
Correct.
So right now what we're doing is we're focusing on making sure that we can open up the square in the most safe and efficient manner. We are working with the City of Cleveland. We're working with the county as needed, of course, and of course Sana's team through the engineers to make sure that we have streets open as needed, to make sure that people can traverse through and around the square. What we want to do is make sure we support the idea that the park is usable for folks that want to enjoy the city as well, especially when you get into the summertime. So as we start to think about all of the development plans that are out there, there's a lot that do affect downtown. We want to make sure that we can also keep the thoroughfares open for our buses and also for our ridership. What we don't want to do is have folks have to walk a mile outside of downtown to get through it, because then that just creates a bottleneck for us in being able to get to them. So we are working with the city and we're working with the group plan to make sure that we have those thoroughfares open. We have not gotten beyond the bollards as far as what it looks like for next year, for example, but we do have a commitment between all three of us. I'm also making sure that they're in agreement, right? I don't want them doing this. To make sure that we can keep those major arteries open. We don't want duplication as well, so anything that we can do to streamline those efforts will make a significant change for us.
Just want to make sure I understood that then. I mean, when you said you thought as far as the bollards, does that mean in the future we will still have buses going through Public Square, or is that open to reconsideration?
Sure. You want to take that?
I would say, as India mentioned, when you think about all the planned developments we have, from Bedrock to our new Sherwin-Williams headquarters to the work that our administration has proposed with our shore-to-quarter shore strategy, we want to make Public Square more walkable, more pedestrian-friendly, more vibrant, and long-term, that might consider closing more streets. And so that's why it's important to talk about those considerations with RTA, so that residents and riders aren't affected in a negative way long-term if we decide that's an option. So all things are on the table.
Mr. Mayor, Harry Boomer from 19 News. How are these new plans or these continued plans going to address potential violence on the square, keeping it safe?
Well, I think the best thing we can do to keep Public Square safe and secure is to have more people, more economic activity, more economic energy. We meet on a quarterly basis with my command staff and all the key stakeholders around ensuring Public Square is safe and secure. You may have heard today that we welcomed the largest police class we've seen in years. 52 new recruits joined our police academy just this morning, and I welcomed them. And already, yeah, we can clap for that. Huge deal. One of the largest new classes in the country, by the way. And already we've seen dramatic decreases in violent crime year to date. So we're making great progress, a lot more work to do, but it all boils down to collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. RTA plays a role in public safety. The county, through the Sheriff's Department, has played a major role in helping to keep downtown safe. You want to make sure we keep that progress going.
Hi there, Lindsay Buckingham with WKYC. Kind of on the same note, we have these really big events coming to Cleveland, really exciting, the solar eclipse, women's Final Four, the Guardians home game. What would you say to people who are afraid to come downtown or afraid to come to Public Square, but really want to? What could you say to reassure them?
The question again was just about what to say to the public visiting, and particularly as it pertains to safety and logistics. One, we've had great coordination with the city of Cleveland on these big events coming up. Mayor's team, his command team at CPD, our Sheriff's Department, GCRTA, DCI, DCA, we've all been there. You know, with respect, I'll just say I would only hearken right back to the most recent parade that came through here, the St. Patrick's Day parade, where at least by the look of it, a few 100,000 people here had a great time on March 17th. You know, this is what we do. We do events, but we do them together. And the city's at the lead, and the county with its new downtown safety patrol has added, I think, great value to the mayor's team downtown with GCRTA and DCI. We're well covered. The aspiration is always a clean, safe, vital environment, and we think on these big events, that's why they keep coming back, because we put it together.
And just one more question. What are you most excited about when this whole transformation is complete? What do you look forward to seeing from Clevelanders enjoying the new public square?
Well, I remember when the new square opened in 2016, and I saw 2 children playing in the water fountain with their families. To me, that shows real progress. And what I get excited about is having thousands and thousands of people, whether it's a farmer's market or the ice skating rink, or having a date during a picnic, or having the city club have events down in Public Square. This is the People's Park. In many ways, Public Square is the front door of our great city. And the plans we have put forth through our shore to quarter shore strategy, let's not forget the core. Right? And so ensuring that our streets are more walkable, we have more protected bike lanes, all of that's going to go a long way to making Cleveland have one of the best downtowns in the country, and it's going to take all of us to make that vision a reality.
I'm just going to take a word from my friend Nick Bartlett, the CEO of the Cavs, said it earlier as he was walking up today. Momentum. We're seeing momentum. With all the goings-ons, and we're seeing partnership. But this is a city, county, region on the move, and we're working together to make it happen. Momentum.
One thing, if I could add from an operational perspective to support what my colleagues have said, regarding safety in particular, we've really, I think, restarted the initiatives of really joint safety. And just to remind folks, RTA is small but mighty, right? We've got 100 sworn officers, and when you add K-9 and administrative unit, you're looking at about 150 all told. RTA is a family of over 2,200 employees, right? So we see each other. We've got our eyes on each other, and it's nice because, it's usually nice, you get everybody looking at you, but being able to go down the street, and if you notice when you see a bus, you'll see a wave, right? And it's an operator acknowledging another. And that's something that you see with our police officers as well. Transit police, TP is what we call them. We also have ambassador programs. We have crisis intervention specialists, which are basically social workers that work for RTA. So we're out here every day. We're in teams. We want to work with you before we have to be able to think about what the next step is. We want to help people who are having mental health issues, who are unhoused, and all of the issues that might come on a daily basis in your commute. We also have clean teams that we're looking to revamp and put a facelift on a lot of our facilities and a lot of the things that you see every day. Our community outreach is tremendous. We have increased it tenfold. So we went from 10 to 12 events in the community to over 120 within 18 months. That's the kind of commitment that RTA has to this project and to the city. So if you ask me what I say for those people who are coming to Cleveland, we say bring it on.
One more question.
So with bollards now, does that mean no more complaints about illegal parkers?
We do our absolute best to dissuade illegal parking in and around the square. So as the old saying goes, if you see something, say something, call the non-emergency hotline at City Hall to make sure we hold those folks accountable. Please do. Thanks. Thanks, everybody.
Dan DeRosa with 19 News. We expected maybe to see some actual details on what this transformation is going to look like. We heard that the Jersey barriers are finally coming down. That's something Mayor Justin Bibb has been working on for quite some time. But they said that whatever this construction is, whatever these plans are, should be completed in the next few weeks. Just wanted to see, and boy, they're not kidding. Here go the Jersey barriers live. That's how quickly Justin Bibb wanted to move on this. It has been an issue for the mayor for some time, this idea that traffic could not move through the central part of the city, the living room, as it were. But they do want to increase safety for pedestrians, people walking on the sidewalks, bikers, people who are trying to catch RTA buses. And it looks like they're actually going to get out some hard hats here, maybe some horns, to actually give the signal to start removing the Jersey barriers. So let's stay with this for a while.
Okay. How you doing, Harry?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you? Good.
In the background there, that shiny new building is the future headquarters of Sherwin-Williams. You can see why this has been a priority. You've got a brand new building like that heading in. And the mayor wants some movement, and he wants it now, and he's going to get it.
All right, well, I'll go first. What do I do? We're going to have you signal. Signal and then hold the flag up. Hit the button. Let's go.
You are watching the live removal of the Jersey barriers that have blocked Public Square for years. Again, this feels like a little bit of a peel back of former Mayor Frank Jackson sort of pencil stroke or pen stroke. It was Jackson who wanted this closed to through traffic. He wanted it to be RTA only. And you heard the mayor himself say this was part of a campaign promise that he wanted Public Square back open. And there it is, the mayor clapping as his Jersey barrier with his signal was removed from Public Square. We didn't get real clarification. I'm guessing that with the removal of these barriers, people will be able to start driving on Public Square perhaps this afternoon. And we'll have to wait and see what that looks like. And if that happens, you can see there are some signals there just above that piece of machinery there. And there is the RTA giving their signal to have the next barrier removed. But you would assume if they're moving these barriers live right now and only have a couple to go, that we could see traffic once again moving through Public Square. It'll be very interesting to watch this play out this afternoon, but our Harry Boomer, as you may have seen or heard, is covering the story, so he will bring us the very latest when we start our 3.5 hours of news and weather at 3 o'clock today. It'll be interesting to see cars move through Public Square yet again. Until then, if we have any other breaking news, it'll be right here on our digital platforms. Otherwise, we'll see you at 3 o'clock on Channel 19. I'm Dan DeRosa with 19 News. Have a great afternoon.
19 News is everywhere. Download our CTV apps and follow us on social media at Cleveland 19 News.
Jeff, can't hear me yet. Hi, Jeff. Dan DeRose with Channel 19. Can you hear me?
Hey, Dan, I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, I hear you good. I hear we know somebody in common.
We do. Shannon Hauser's in the other room right now.
Yeah. Tell her hello from us here at 19.
Will do. Hold on one second. Let me go close my office door real quick.
Sure.
I would grab her for you, but she's in a meeting right now, unfortunately.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Just change the video. You can start.
Excellent. I don't need you to move. I can adjust things here. Yeah, just leave it right like that and let me do some adjusting on my end.
So looking for a live to tape?
Actually, this goes out live to all our digital platforms, just Facebook, so they just get to watch you and I just have this conversation, so it's very simple.
Okay. Anything specific you're looking to ask?
Just what do you guys anticipate that day? I mean, with crowds that we're expecting, should people be worried about losing cell phone coverage? Boy, you're supposed to go pick somebody up, you drop them off at Edgewater, that kind of stuff. From the sounds, from what you said in your statement, sounds like you guys are ready, and I've actually just in the last hour heard back from AT&T and T-Mobile. Everybody claiming to be all set, so that's the good news, and I'll be the one to give you a call the next day when it doesn't happen. So
right. No,
just walk us through what your upgrades have been, why you're so confident, that kind of thing, and then again, just what you guys expect. Any questions?
I don't think so.
Excellent. Okay, stand by. You're going to hear me give some commands. Just stand by for me. All right, how do we look?
I'm all set.
Okay, here we go. Let's do 30 seconds. Well, good afternoon. I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News, coming to you again from our digital desk. We are exactly 2 weeks away, and almost 2 weeks to the moment we're going to start venturing into when we see the eclipse taking effect. We heard last week from Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb. He compared the size of crowds that they're expecting to hosting a Cavs, Browns, Guardians game all at the same time, and the St. Patrick's Day parade. That's how big of a crowd they're expecting in and around the Cleveland area. We heard from County Executive Chris Ronayne, who said in the county they expect somewhere around 200,000 people to come in and watch this event, and they claim they are ready for it. When we start talking about who is ready, maybe who has had to do some planning for this event, we also want to talk about cell phone companies. We're going to welcome in Jeff Q from Verizon Wireless. He's the Great Lakes Communications Manager for our region. Jeff, thanks for joining us. How are you today?
Hey, Dan, I'm good. How are you?
Hey, everybody getting excited for 2 weeks from today. Let's hope we have this kind of weather. That's what everybody has their fingers crossed for. But let's talk about, we've seen this in the past with big events. I think about when the RNC was here. I think about when we had the Cavs parade. Now, that was 1 million people. That's going to be tough for any system to be able to keep up. But tell us what you folks are anticipating when we get in this path of totality. And let's be clear, we're not talking about any kind of disruption because of the eclipse, like space and waves and stuff like that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about an abundance of people on a network. What is Verizon? What have you folks been talking about when it comes to cell phone service? And what should we expect as the public?
So what we should expect out of this is a non-story at the end of the day, hopefully. And we feel really good about that. We feel really good about our bandwidth. We feel really good about just handling the influx of people that we're going to see. So, I mean, we really put our network to the test quite frequently. When you look at events happening downtown, just in Cleveland in the springtime in general, you've got Cavs games and Guardians games happening at the same time occasionally. You've got tens of thousands of people in that area, probably 100,000 plus in the downtown area alone when those events are happening. And we don't even think about the network in those situations because it upholds, it works just fine. So what we expect is our network with it where it stands will be just fine at the end of the day when it comes to all of this. You look at some major events that happen within the totality line as we see. Just look at Indianapolis. We host up to 250,000 people at the Indy 500 on a yearly basis in a small area. And in those instances, we don't see issues with the network. We feel really, really good about where we stand. And over the last few years, there's been so much expansion in the network itself as far as what has been auctioned off, what we've utilized, what we've enabled with 5G, and still with the 4G underlying it, that we in the LTE, is that we feel really good with everything and what our engineers test and what they expect and what they're likely going to possibly request for needs when it comes to that day. We just feel good about being able to adjust and being able to support everything.
That's very positive news. And Jeff, I'm assuming that comes to when you have an event like this, and you brought up the Indianapolis 500, people want to take pictures of cars and video of the race itself and try and upload that. Do you anticipate, I mean, this is going to be one of the most photographed events in our area and maybe videos. I'm assuming that holds true for people and live in the moment, trying to upload pictures to Facebook or to social media. Is that the same as you don't think there will be any issues, or could it be a little slow?
We don't expect to see any issues. I mean, keep in mind, just taking the example of the Indy 500, the finish line crossing, that's a moment that people upload like crazy. The F-16s flying overhead to start the race, people upload that like crazy since it happens, or they live stream it, or they do whatever with it. We've seen moments like this, and we expect this to be very much in the same. And our engineers feel really good about where the network stands as far as being able to handle capacity, not just when hundreds of thousands of people are gathered for this event, but in the influx moments as well.
And it makes sense. We've seen technology in our lives improve. Some of the problems we had 5 years ago, 10 years ago, streaming at home, streaming video and movies and stuff, we don't see that problem either at this point. Maybe a last question here. We've seen in the past, I think when the RNC was here, and we have to go back to 2016 when we're talking about technology improving in the last 8 years, sometimes you folks would bring in hotspots or apparatus that would boost the signal, so to speak. Are you doing that, or is that just how far we've come in technology that you don't even anticipate having to do that?
Mixture of both. It's how far we've come in technology based on our network and where it stands today. And then also we're listening to our engineers if they have any requests. So if they do make any requests or anything, we're flexible and we're able to meet those needs. So mixture of both, and we feel really good about our action plan.
Excellent.
And I'll also say this.
Go ahead.
Sorry, one more thing. I'll also say this is that, a few years ago, we went through another totality eclipse event that happened in the western part of the US. And there were no major issues when that happened. So we really do feel good about this being a real steady, real stable event.
That's great news. And again, we think about everything that's happening around that time. If you're picking up kids or dropping off people in and about, we need to have access to our cell phones. And that's been one of the major questions that people have been bringing up. Jeff Q with Verizon, with the Great Lakes Communications. He's the Great Lakes Communications Manager. Jeff, we certainly appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us today.
Of course, thank you.
All right, take care. Again, we are exactly 2 weeks out, and it's not just about Verizon customers who have done our due diligence here. I've also reached out to AT&T and T-Mobile. Both of them have come back and said, much like the message we heard from Verizon, their upgrades are to the point to where they expect no problems, and that's what we want to hear. Have not heard back yet from Spectrum Mobile is another one I've reached out to today. So we'll wait and see. And hopefully that is good news. And just like Jeff said with Verizon, that this will be a non-story on the day of, so we can all just focus on the eclipse. Again, almost exactly 2 weeks from right now, 3:13 will be the total darkness in Cleveland, in the Cleveland area, 3:13 in the afternoon. But you'll start to see the moon move into place right around 2 o'clock. So right around this time, as the moon moves in to block the sun. Going to be an exciting day. If we have any other news that breaks, it'll be right here on our digital properties. Otherwise, our 3.5 hours of news and weather starts at 3 o'clock, just about an hour from now on Channel 19. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News. Have a great afternoon.
19 News is everywhere. Download our CTV apps and follow us on social media at Cleveland 19 News.
Jeff, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it. Send our best to Shannon.
Of course, we'll do, Dan. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Let me know if you need anything else, okay?
Absolutely. Take care.
And actually, Dan, there might be one thing that I'm working on right now. If you want to do another one of these, it's kind of best tips for using your cell phone when it comes to the eclipse.
As far as like taking pictures or what?
Yeah, taking pictures, taking video, whatever you want to do. So I'm kind of compiling that right now based on the different types of phones.
Yeah, send me that. Maybe we do that late in the week next week. So like, what, 3, 4, 5 days out from the eclipse, maybe we do that again.
Yeah, makes sense.
Excellent, sir. Jeff, appreciate it.
Okay. I'll email you, Dan.